Aunt Jessica held up my car key at the family barbecue, laughing so loud everyone turned to look. "Wait, you actually bought this? A Honda Civic?" "Victoria, my hairdresser drives a nicer car." Brianna, my cousin, leaned in with that smug smile. "Guess some people just don't have taste." The whole table erupted in laughter. I sat there, face burning, hands clenched under the table. What they didn't know about that key would change everything. My name's Victoria. I'm 27, and I work in logistics coordination for a mid-sized delivery company. Not glamorous, not flashy, just responsible. I grew up as the boring one in a family obsessed with status and appearances. My aunt's side of the family, they live for image. Aunt Jessica drives a leased BMW. Brianna just got a Mercedes. Also leased, by the way. Designer bags, expensive vacations, everything carefully curated for Instagram. Meanwhile, I'd been quietly saving for 3 years, living modestly. No designer anything, no expensive trips. At family events, I was invisible, dismissed, overlooked, mocked when they did notice me. But I had something they didn't expect, a plan, a dream that had nothing to do with impressing people who didn't matter. I wanted independence, my own business, freedom from the 9-to-5 grind. I wasn't the favorite, and I definitely wasn't their idea of successful. But I had a vision, and I was building it brick by brick. If you've ever been pushed aside by family, subscribe right now and tell me where you're watching from. Because this story gets so much better. 2 weeks before that barbecue, I bought my first brand new car, a Honda Civic. Hybrid, reliable, excellent safety ratings. I put 50% down, low monthly payments, fantastic gas mileage. I was genuinely proud. This was my car. New. Mine. It felt like a huge step toward everything I'd been working for. So when Aunt Jessica invited the family over for one of her show-off barbecues, I was excited to share the news. I thought maybe, just maybe, they'd be happy for me. I pulled up to her massive house in my shiny new Civic, head high, smile ready. Jessica spotted me immediately. "Oh, honey, is that your car? I thought it was the caterer's." The smile froze on my face. Brianna circled the car like a shark, laughing. "You could have at least gotten the Accord. This is so basic." Uncle Tom walked over, shaking his head. "What happened? Bad credit? I know a guy who could have got you into something better." I tried to explain. "It's reliable, great gas mileage, and I got a good—" Jessica cut me off, waving her hand. "Sweetie, you only get one chance to make an impression. This isn't it." I felt my chest tighten. At the dinner table, it got worse. Jessica stood up, clinking her glass like she was making a toast. "Everyone, Victoria bought her first new car. Show of hands, who thinks she should have gotten something with more personality?" Half the table laughed and raised their hands. People whispered, smirked. Brianna twisted the knife deeper. "I mean, when I bought my Benz, people noticed. That's the whole point." My dad tried to defend me. "It's a smart financial choice, very practical." Jessica dismissed him with a laugh. "Practical is just another word for boring, Dave." And just like that, the conversation moved on. Like I didn't matter. My achievement, my first new car, became a punchline. I left early. Tears streamed down my face as I drove away in my boring car. But as I gripped the steering wheel, staring at that key in the ignition, I thought, if they only knew what this key really means. 1 week later, I was scrolling Instagram and saw photos from a surprise dinner for Brianna's promotion. Fancy upscale restaurant. At least 15 people. Distant cousins I barely talked to. Friends of friends. I wasn't invited. I didn't even know about it. I texted my mom. Was I supposed to be at Brianna's dinner? Her response came fast. Jessica said it was small, just immediate family. But the photos showed tons of people, many I barely knew. I called Aunt Jessica directly. Hey, I saw the photos. I didn't know there was a dinner. Her tone was so condescending it made my skin crawl. Oh, honey, I figured you wouldn't want to come. Those places are pricey, and with your budget situation, I didn't want you to feel uncomfortable. Budget situation. The implication was crystal clear. They thought I was broke, struggling, couldn't afford a nice meal. I hung up feeling humiliated. A few days later, I ran into Brianna at Whole Foods. She was with her friends, all dressed like they were heading to brunch at some exclusive spot. She saw me and her face lit up, not in a good way. Victoria, still driving the soccer mom mobile? Her friends giggled on cue. I tried to respond calmly. It's actually really reliable and… She cut me off, laughing. Girl, reliable is what you say when you can't afford luxury. It's okay, we all start somewhere. One of her friends whispered, but loud enough for me to hear. Is she the cousin Jessica's always talking about? The one who's struggling? My face burned with shame. I abandoned my shopping cart and walked out. Sat in my car, hands shaking, feeling completely worthless, questioning everything I'd worked for. Then, a few days later, Aunt Jessica called. Her voice was suddenly warm, sweet. Honey, I've been thinking about the barbecue. I feel bad about those jokes. Let me make it up to you. For a second, I felt hopeful. Maybe she was genuinely apologizing. So I need a tiny favor. Brianna's car is in the shop, and she has an important client meeting across town tomorrow. I knew where this was going. Can she borrow your car? It's perfect for running around. I couldn't believe it. Wait, you just spent weeks mocking my car. Her tone shifted instantly. Manipulative, cold. It's great for errands. Plus, you're not doing anything important tomorrow, right? Just take the bus to work. The audacity. Mock my car publicly, then demand to use it. I stood firm. Actually, I need it for work. Her voice turned ice cold. Wow, Victoria. Family helps family. But I guess you've always been selfish. I see where your priorities are. She hung up. I sat there trembling. But something shifted inside me. I wasn't sad anymore. I was angry. I didn't cry this time. Instead, I opened my laptop and pulled up the documents I'd been working on for months. Business plan, contract agreements, vehicle financing pre-approvals, LLC registration paperwork. I smiled. The first real smile in weeks. Let them laugh. Let them mock. They had absolutely no idea what was coming. What they didn't know was that the Honda Civic wasn't just a car. It was the foundation. 3 months earlier, I'd met with a small business advisor at the local SBA office. I'd been planning my exit from corporate logistics for nearly 2 years. I'd saved $35,000, built excellent credit, 720 score, researched the local delivery market extensively, and I'd found a gap, a big one. Reliable, eco-friendly, last-mile delivery service for small local businesses. Amazon dominated. Big companies had it locked down, but small shops, local organic stores, independent pharmacies, artisan collectives, they needed affordable, personal courier services. The Civic was the first vehicle in what would become a 5-vehicle fleet. I'd already secured business line of credit pre-approval for $75,000, and I had 3 major contracts in final negotiation: a local organic grocery co-op, an independent pharmacy chain, an artisan flower collective. The Civic was strategic. Hybrid engine, low maintenance costs, perfect for urban delivery routes, excellent fuel economy. I'd intentionally chosen practical over flashy because I was building equity, not image. While they were leasing luxury cars they couldn't actually afford, I was building real assets in a real business. I had one final contract meeting scheduled, the one that would provide enough revenue to quit my corporate job. Nobody in my family knew any of this. I'd kept it completely secret. I knew they'd either mock my dreams or try to insert themselves and take credit. That key in my pocket? It wasn't a symbol of failure. It was the key to my complete freedom. I met with Daniel at a coffee shop downtown. He was 34, a former colleague who'd left our company 2 years earlier to start his own logistics consulting firm. He'd been quietly mentoring me, helping me refine my business plan and contracts. He reviewed my final contract proposal, nodding as he read. "Victoria, this is rock solid. If you land this one, you're fully set to launch." I told him everything that had happened, the mockery, the exclusion, the exploitation attempt. He shook his head, disgusted. "Let me guess. They think success has to look expensive?" They literally asked to borrow the same car they publicly humiliated me over. He laughed, but not in a mean way. That's the difference between looking successful and being successful. They don't know the difference. He leaned forward, serious. "Stay focused. Tune out the noise. Keep your eyes on launch day." Then he smiled. "Trust me. In 6 months they'll be asking you for business advice, maybe even jobs." That same evening, Brianna posted on Instagram from a luxury car dealership. Caption: "Some people buy cars, some people buy status, luxury life, know your worth." Comments flooded in from family members, praising her success and taste. Aunt Jessica commented, "So proud of you, baby," unlike some people who settle for mediocre. The post had dozens of likes. I knew it was a direct dig at me. But instead of feeling crushed, I felt motivated. I screenshotted it and saved it in a folder labeled Receipts. 2 days later, I got the email I'd been waiting for. My third and final contract was approved and signed. I had everything I needed to officially launch my business. I scheduled my corporate resignation letter for Monday morning. Ordered business cards. Vehicle decals with my company logo. Insurance paperwork. That same evening, my mom texted, "Jessica is hosting Sunday dinner this week. Please come and just be nice. She's still family, honey." I made a decision. I'd go to the dinner, but this time I wasn't staying silent. I wasn't hiding anymore. They wanted to see what success looks like? Fine. I'd show them exactly what they'd been too blind to see. Sunday evening, I pulled up to Aunt Jessica's house in my Civic. Head high, shoulders back. Brianna greeted me at the door with that same smug smile. "Oh look, the economy model has arrived," Aunt Jessica called from the patio. "Victoria, sweetie, park around back, okay? Don't want the neighbors thinking we're hosting a budget event." Scattered laughter from family members on the deck. I parked in front, walked in calmly, said nothing. Yet. During dinner, Jessica brought it up again. "So, Victoria, any updates in your life? Still the same job? Same car?" Brianna piled on. "Some people just don't have ambition, Mom. It's fine. The world needs average people too." I set down my fork, took a slow breath. "Actually, I do have an update." The table went quiet. Jessica smirked. "Oh, really? Finally trading in the Civic for something with class." "No, I'm starting my own business, and I'm quitting my corporate job on Monday." Silence. Confused glances exchanged around the table. Brianna laughed nervously. "Doing what, Uber?" I stayed calm, steady. "Delivery logistics. I've secured 3 major contracts with local businesses. I'm launching a 5-vehicle fleet for eco-friendly last-mile delivery." I pulled out my phone, showed the E. Registered LLC documentation, signed contracts. The Civic you've all spent weeks mocking? It's vehicle number 1. I have financing in place for 4 more. Aunt Jessica's smile cracked. Wait, what are you talking about? I've been building this for 2 years. While you were all busy leasing cars you can't afford to impress people who don't care, I was building actual equity. Uncle Tom tried to interrupt. Now hold on a minute. No, you hold on. You mocked me, excluded me, tried to use me, all because I made a practical financial choice. Brianna got defensive. I'm not in debt. I can afford... I cut her off. Can you? Your Mercedes lease is $847 a month. I know because you literally posted about it. That's over $10,000 a year for a car you'll never own. Jessica's face turned red. How dare you speak to her like... My voice rose. My Civic will be paid off in 2 years. Then it's a business asset generating income. That's the difference between us. I placed my car key on the table with a firm click. This key. It's not to just a car. It's to my independence, my business, my future built on actual strategy, not appearances. My voice steadied. You see boring. I see smart. You see cheap. I see investment. You see failure. I see freedom. My dad watched quietly from the corner, a small proud smile forming on his face. Jessica stammered. We were just joking around. You're being so sensitive. No, you were cruel. And you did it because you measure success by how things look, not by what they actually mean. Brianna tried one more time. We didn't mean... I stood, picked up my key. I'm done explaining myself to people who wouldn't recognize real success if it was parked in their driveway. I walked to the door, turned back once. Good luck with those lease payments. Then I walked out into the night. No applause, no vindication, just quiet strength. I sat in my Civic in the driveway, hands shaking but face smiling. I'd never stood up to them like that. Ever. My phone buzzed. Text from Dad. Your mother and I are proud of you. Come to our place for real dinner next week. Just us. Over the next 4 weeks, I officially launched my business, submitted my resignation, hired 2 part-time drivers, managed routes myself initially. The business grew steadily. Word-of-mouth referrals, reliable service. Local businesses loved the personal touch. My eco-friendly angle resonated. I was featured in a local small business spotlight article. 8 weeks after launch, I ran into Aunt Jessica at a family birthday party. She tried to act normal, mentioned casually that Brianna was cutting back on some expenses. Translation: the luxury lifestyle was financially unsustainable. She awkwardly asked, "So, how's your little business thing going?" I smiled, genuine, unbothered. Really well, actually. I just hired my 4th driver and I'm looking at expanding my service radius. Jessica had nothing to say, just nodded stiffly and walked away. I didn't gloat, didn't rub it in, didn't need to. I simply smiled and moved on. For once, their silence didn't hurt me. It freed me. I finally understood I never needed their approval. I just needed to approve of myself. I looked at my small fleet parked outside my rented warehouse space. 5 reliable vehicles, each one representing someone's livelihood, including mine. They laughed at the key. But I unlocked something they never could. Real independence. If you've ever had family mock your choices just because they didn't look flashy enough, you're not alone. Real success isn't about what people see on the surface. It's about what you build when no one's watching. Where are you watching from? Drop your location below. I always check the comments. And if you've ever had to stand up to someone who measured your worth by their shallow standards, hit that subscribe button and share your story. Your journey matters, and your dreams are valid. Don't let anyone tell you different. Thanks for being here. See you in the next one.